political fight breaking out on history lessons, as a row has now broken out over the NCRT Class 8 lessons, with the 1947 partition debate being in the spotlight, and fresh focus now being brought in after a line says that the Congress party accepted partition as the last resort. So now fresh controversy breaking out over some changes that were made in the Class 7 text, with questions now being raised by some in the opposition. This is after it makes a mention of the Congress party, and this is in the NCRT book. It says Congress party had accepted partition as the last resort. So some objection being raised to it as well, with many raising questions on this. A political fight breaking out. Yet again, it is the same charge of politics or history being changed, and why there is a mention of the same. So the controversy has been breaking out after the NCRT made these changes, and in these changes it goes on to say that the Congress party accepted partition as the last resort, and it also goes on to mention that Mahatma Gandhi ji opposed it but agreed to the partition, and most of the Congress leaders opposed partition initially, and Congress party ultimately accepted it as the only way ahead. So this is mentioned in the NCRT books. It also goes on to say that not all Muslims had backed partition. So after, it went on to say that the Congress party accepted partition as the last resort. Now controversy breaking out. My colleague Bhavna is on the broadcast with us. Bhavna, what are the details? Bhavna, can you hear me? Okay, all right. We don't have Bhavna with us, but changes have been made, after which now a controversy has broken out. Let's get you the details. It's a new NCRT Class 8 social science textbook that was released on Monday, which noted that though Mahatma Gandhi and most Congress leaders had opposed the idea of partition of the country in 1947, they ended up accepting it as the only way forward, even though it was also clear that a certain portion of Indian Muslims did not favor partition. So this is what is mentioned in the book. So the Class 8 history book previously had stated that a 3-member mission sent by the British cabinet to Delhi had suggested a political framework for a free India that could not get the Congress and Muslim League to agree to specific details. Kritika is on the phone line with us with the details. Kritika, what are the details of the controversy and the changes that have been made to the NCRT books?
Well, yes, Pratibha, last year also we'd seen that when Partition Horrors Remembrance Day was being marked, there was a special module that was also introduced which had pinned the blame on Congress as well as Jinnah for the partition. And now we've seen that though this module was a supplementary module, it wasn't supposed to be a part of the fixed curriculum of the child's education. Now we're seeing that NCRT has formally also put in this point across as far as the module on social science is also concerned. What the book states now, the new chapter, it has Congress, it states how many Congress leaders ultimately joined hands for the partition. It also states that a lot of Muslim leaders were also, and Muslim sections also were not on board with the idea of partition as well. So these new facts are now being detailed in the NCRT Social Sciences Part 2 book, which has been very recently released. In fact, it will be available in print soon as well. And we're seeing that already this sort of mention of the Congress party as well as the facets around partition and the changes that continue to happen last year also had stirred a political storm. Congress had come out in opposition to be named in this manner. It had stated that this is a very, in fact, a binary way of looking at all the conditions surrounding partition as well. And this time around as well, when these lines are formally being introduced in the Class 8 textbook of the NCRT as far as social sciences is concerned, we can expect more politics to start over this. Over to you.
Okay, all right. In fact, Bhavna is also on the line with us. Thank you for joining us with those details, Kritika. So, Bhavna, controversy breaking out, it makes a mention of the Congress party. In fact, it also goes on to mention that Mahatma Gandhi had also opposed it, but agreed to the partition, also going on to mention that many Indian Muslims were also not in support of it.
बिल्कुल 1947 के वक्त बंटवारे की खबर को लेकर एक बार फिर से एनसीईआरटी ने जो नए बदलाव किए हैं सोशल साइंस की क्लास 8 की किताब में, वो एक बार फिर से चर्चा का विषय बन चुका है कि उस समय कांग्रेस के कई नेताओं ने, यहां तक कि महात्मा गांधी ने भी बंटवारे को लेकर वो सहमति नहीं बना रहे थे, लेकिन आखिर में एकमात्र रास्ता उनको चुना गया। अगर बात करें तो पिछले साल भी कुछ बदलाव किए गए थे, जिसके बाद हमने देखा था कि कांग्रेस नेताओं ने इसके खिलाफ कई बार बयानबाजी भी की, लेकिन अब जिस तरह से एक बार फिर से एनसीईआरटी ने जो नए बदलाव किए हैं, और अगर बात करें तो ये किताबें जो है वो पब्लिश होकर मार्केट में कुछ दिनों में उपलब्ध होंगी और स्टूडेंट्स को ये किताबें जो है वो स्कूलों में पढ़ाई भी जाएंगी।
Just a moment, interrupting you. We have Congress MP Manickamtagore on the phone line with us. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Manickamtagore. What does the Congress party have to say about the changes that have been made to the NCRT books that says Congress leaders accepted partition as the only way forward?
We all know that BJP and RSS wants to thrive on the past histories, what happened in those days, and they want to distort those histories and again and again repeat and create a narrative and divert from the real issues which the country is facing. The real issues remain. The livelihoods of people are affected, but they don't want any kind of discussion on that. It may be in the parliament, it may be outside also. They don't want to have any kind of discussion on it. On the history, they want to create an impression and they want to control, RSS control over the education system is well known. They are controlling and they are trying to divert and distort history again and again and again. This is another time it is happening, and this is, we all know that the Education Minister, Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan, has completely handed over the Shastri Bhavan to the RSS people, and therefore all the institutions related to the education ministry are run by RSS people. Therefore, they will create histories which has never happened, which distort the facts and create new stories which doesn't suit with the truth. They only wants to create false stories being injected to the young minds of India, and they want to taught wrong history to the people of India and the young generation of India. When the world is fighting a different battle, RSS wants to fight a different battle.
Okay, all right. Thank you for joining us on the broadcast. Manickamtagore of the Congress party going on to say that this is history being tweaked to support the RSS narrative of education. Let's get you more breaking updates now coming in, because the new NCRT Class 8 Social Science textbook also openly discusses the challenges facing the judiciary. For the first time, the book mentions corruption in the judiciary, and it also mentions the sheer number of pending cases in courts, and it has been cited as a major challenge. It goes on to mention that there are nearly 81,000 cases that are pending in the Supreme Court, nearly 6.24 million cases pending in the High Court, nearly 47 million cases pending in the district and subordinate courts. So the book cites a shortage of judges, complex legal procedures and weak infrastructure as reasons for these delays. We have Mr. Tom Vadakan of the BJP on the broadcast with us. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Tom Vadakan. For the very first time, NCRT also mentions the challenges facing the judiciary. It has also made some mention of the Congress party with partition, which the Congress party has now attacked and has said that this is the RSS script being put in place in the NCRT books. How would you respond?
These are reality checks. History is written by the conquerors and their ecosystem. Now, when there's an understanding of that period and the ground reality is reflected in textbooks, you can't hide facts. What is happening in the judiciary is a known issue. Corruption is a known issue. And this all happened during the regime of those in power those days. Now, when power has changed, historians have started looking at the reality. And when the reality dawns, it is reflected in textbooks. Whether it is the issue of partition, judiciary, or corruption, these are all realities which the common man is aware of. History books or NCRT books may not have reflected this, but this is known to every common man in India.
Okay, all right. So reflecting reality, that's a response from the BJP. Mr. Vadakan, thank you for joining us on the broadcast. In fact, Kapil Sibal has also made a mention of this, saying NCERT Class 8 book includes section on corruption in judiciary. But what about the massive corruption of politicians, including ministers, public servants, investigation agencies and governments? Brush them under the carpet. That's a response that has come in from Kapil Sibal. With that, we're slipping into a short break. We'll be